October had some highs and lows, both as a reseller and as just a human. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing what sold on Poshmark and eBay in October 2021. My name is Ashley and I'm a reseller based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Let's talk about the good stuff in October first. It was PoshFest and it ended up being a lot of fun, even though it was online again. I did a live stream with my PFF Mar and we talked about all of the announcements, the sessions, the good, the bad, and I'll be sure to link that video down in the description. I was really grateful to be a speaker at PoshFest again, talking about mental health and self-care and balancing it all. And I'm actually planning to do a video later this month to talk a little bit more about mental health and self-care and balance as a reseller, as an entrepreneur, so be on the lookout for that. There were a bunch of features that were announced at PoshFest, including Closet Insights, what is it called? My customers, my buyers? Clearly I'm using it a lot. My shoppers. It's called My Shoppers. There's also supposed to be some new features launching for Posh ambassadors, including bulk uploads and the new tier of Posh ambassador status, gold tier. Those haven't come yet. That's okay. I was actually really excited to use my Closet Insights in this video, but I realized it shows the current month and then it doesn't show the previous month. Like you can't toggle prior month. I hope that they add that in the future because it seems like a bit of a waste. Like the last day of the month, you're like, okay, this is what I did. And then it starts fresh the next month, but you can't go back and get that data. Anyway, I'm continuing to use the spreadsheets that I normally use to track my sales, but it's kind of nice to be able to go into my Closet Insights and get an at a glance view of what's happening in your closet at any given moment. Another fun thing that happened in October, I work with an entrepreneur named Jam Gamble. I've talked about her before and she released a romper. I'm wearing it. This is the Mike Slayer romper with Smash and Tess. And it was so much fun to play a teeny tiny role in that launch and be able to get my hands on my romper a couple days early and be able to share the good news and just celebrate Jam and this amazing accomplishment. Also, this romper is just like the most cozy. I don't wear the hood very often, but here's what the hood looks like. And the cuffs are so cute and it's got the stripes down the side. Anyway, I love it. And that was a really fun part of October as well. I also listed a bunch on eBay, which is great. And I shared a video about that last week and I'll link that down in the description. I was feeling a bit of imposter syndrome in sharing that video because I am by no means an eBay expert. I am learning as I go, but I've heard from you that eBay can be intimidating. And so I wanted to share a video at the beginning of my process to be like, yeah, I find eBay intimidating too. Here's what I'm doing, here's how it's working. You can do this too if I'm fumbling my way through it. So in October, I had eBay sales, which was great. I've had a couple more in November, and so I'm continuing to list on eBay, and that's been a positive thing because it's something I've been saying I was gonna do for months. So the not so good stuff that was in October, my sales weren't where I wanted them to be. And part of that was due to the fact that the second half of the month, I was having a really tough time with my mental health. And it was really difficult. Like I was just not in a great place emotionally. And I think it was like a culmination of a bunch of factors. But to be totally honest, I wasn't in a great place. Normally I expect that in November, just because November can be a tough month for me emotionally. It gets darker, it's my mom's birthday. And some feelings of like grief and sadness tend to come up for me, but I don't know, October was tough. And so there was a point where I didn't list anything for like 10 days. I wasn't feeling good about making videos. I wasn't feeling good about showing up online, and it was difficult, but I was really grateful that I could take the time for myself to take care of myself and take it slow and just practice a lot of self-nurturing and self-compassion and do the best I could. I'm feeling better than I was. I don't think I'm at 100%. There's been some tough stuff that I've been navigating over the last week or so, and my mom's birthday is coming up. Also, daylight saving time just happened, so it's gonna get real dark real fast. So I'm just doing my best and being really conscious of the fact that I know that this can be a tough time of year for me and giving myself grace. In October, I sold a total of 63 items, 60 on Poshmark and 3 on eBay. My ASP, or average selling price, was $34.17, which is up quite a bit from last month, so that was good. My sell-through rate was just over 16.5%. And in my Poshmark sales, I had 5 bundles. I listed a total of 120 items, which is not the goal that I set out to do. As I said, mental health factors contributed to that. But what I did do was, when I was starting to feel better, was I decided to start listing on eBay, because that felt kind of manageable, because I already had the photos, I had the descriptions, I just had to put in the work. And that felt doable. And so I was able to start listing consistently on eBay. I had 3 eBay sales, which I'm really happy with, and hoping to see that eBay momentum kind of continue. It's good. Surprising. I'm as surprised as anyone, trust me. Before I get into my sales, I would love to hear how October was for you. Let me know down in the comments. For my Poshmark sales, I'm gonna be sharing what sold over $40, so let's jump into those sales. I didn't have a ton of bundle sales in October, but the ones that I did have were kind of random and were sort of me taking a chance on people who had liked multiple items and just sending them an offer, and a bunch of them accepted, which is great. The first bundle, all the items came from my Quick Lots half pallet. So there was a lot of water to go reusable water bottles. I had a bunch of them in that Quick Lots half pallet, so I just bundled them all together. So that was in this bundle. There was a Stewart of Scotland burgundy fringe scarf, and also a Nordstrom blue and green plaid scarf. I was ready for all of those pieces to get moving, so I sent a bundle offer to the buyer for $60 and they accepted. And those items had been sitting in my closet ranging from 71 days to 78 days. One of the themes that's been coming up over the last couple of months is people getting items for colder weather. And so I saw lots of coats, lots of boots, and lots of jeans this month. This J. Crew factory coat in this neon orange color came from one of my consignment clients, and I just fell in love with this piece. I loved the classic style paired with the bold orange color, and it was in a size 14. It sold for $59 on an offer to Liker and took 50 days to sell. I recently shared a thrift haul scavenger hunt that I did with my friend Karina, and a bunch of the items from that thrift haul actually sold this month. In that haul, I shared that I was really excited to have found Levi's ribcage straight high-rise jeans for the first time. These were in a size 32. The buyer and I went back and forth on price, and they sold for $55 the day after I listed them. Next up was another random bundle. I think the only theme that I could come up with for these ones is like dark colors, moody items. I don't know. The first item was this cool MTV graphic tee. The MTV graphic had like a leopard print in it, which was kind of fun. It sold with an Adidas beanie and a scarf from my Quick Lots half pallet. The buyer sent me an offer for $51 for those 3 items, and I accepted. The t-shirt had been listed for 42 days, and the scarf and the hat had been listed for 101 days. Another pair of jeans I shared in that video with Karina was the 7 for All Mankind dojos that I found. Dojos continue to be a style that I can count on to sell pretty quickly. So if you ever find 7 for All Mankind, the dojo style, the older ones tend to be a lower rise, but I think they're making them a bit higher rise now, but they're a wide bell bottom leg, and it's a very, very popular style. These ones are in a size 27, and they sold for $42 on an offer to Liker just 2 days after I'd listed them. I know I've talked about the brand Fly London at least once, and I was really excited when I found these gorgeous black lace-up Fly London boots. They were called the Yada Wedge. They were in black leather, and they had a gorgeous lace-up in the back. These were in a European size 41, and they sold for $97 just 2 weeks after I had listed them. I had sent out an offer to the buyer for $100 with discounted shipping. They missed the offer, sent me a message, and that was how we landed at $97. Fly London shoes and boots are just so fun and funky. They're made in Portugal from beautiful materials, and they're very distinctive. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, because there is a market for them. This was an item from my personal closet. It was a gorgeous red skirt that I had purchased on Instagram from another reseller. I loved this skirt. It was really pretty. I just wasn't wearing it anymore. It's from the Aritzia brand Little Moon, which is an Aritzia brand that I don't see as much, but the pieces that I have seen are just like beautiful, feminine, delicate, and this red floral skirt definitely fit that bill. It sold for $60 on an offer to Liker and took 22 days to sell. Next up was another piece from my haul with Karina. This was a really pretty Free People sweater in like a neon yellow. It was oversized, and it had a distressed kind of raw hem. It was a really, really fun sweater. That sold outright for $65 and took just 4 days to sell. I snuck these jeans into my list. They sold for $39. These were the Citizens of Humanity, but they were a bootcut style. I wasn't sure how bootcut was gonna do, but Citizens of Humanity jeans tend to do well for me. They took a little bit longer to sell. They took 96 days, but they sold for $39 on an offer to Liker. I absolutely loved this Marc Jacobs dress in collaboration with Bergdorf Goodman. Had to look over and be reminded of what that was because I kept getting that wrong. But it was in this really gorgeous yellow polka dot print, very vintage, retro aesthetic, and it was in excellent condition. I love this dress. The buyer and I went back and forth on price, but we landed at $85, and that took 62 days to sell. At the beginning of October, I relisted a whole bunch of older items to just try and get some inventory moving, and I'm gonna do a video on my results probably later in November, maybe early December. But this bundle had a couple of items from my relisting adventures. The two items that had been relisted, one of them was a Nike green long sleeved crop tee. The other was an Abercrombie & Fitch shorty romper jumpsuit. It had like a faux wrap in the front, was long sleeved, was kind of a fun transitional piece. And the other piece that sold in this bundle was an Aritzia faux suede skirt. All of those had been sitting in my closet for a while. Two of them had been relisted recently. I think the other one I relisted a little while back, but the buyer and I went back and forth on the bundle price. She sent me a counter offer for $50, and I was like, you know what? I just need to see these pieces, go to a new home, so off you go. The Nike top and the romper had been listed just the day before, and the skirt had been relisted 56 days ago. What is your strategy for relisting? Is it something that you're on top of and you get into the habit of regularly, or are you kind of like me and you don't do it for a little while and then you do it en masse? Let me know down in the comments what your strategy is and how it's working for you. It's definitely a lot easier to relist since Poshmark has that copy feature, and if something is more than 60 days old and you relist it, it will go back up to the top of search as something that's just in, which is great. I need to figure out how often I want to go in and relist things, whether it is something that I do on a regular basis, like once a month, or if it's something that I let go for a little while and then do it. I don't know. I think there's pluses and minuses to both, and I know for me, when I have new inventory coming in, I'm not thinking as much about relisting, but I do want to get better at it. Next up was this beautiful Kate Spade skirt that was from one of my consignment clients. It was new with tags and in a size 10. I love this print. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous and it was brand new. The buyer sent me an offer for $100 and I accepted. I hoped that it was gonna go for a little bit more, especially because it was new with tags, but it had been sitting for 65 days, and when I got that $100 offer, I was like, you know what, that works for me. Next up were these Max Mara brown leather gloves. They had come in my Quick Lots half palette. They were new with tags, but they did have a couple of flaws on them, and I got a lot of interest on them, but no one wanted to take the leap and buy them. I had this buyer who I went back and forth on offers with, and then they left it for a little while, and then they came back with a $40 offer, and I just accepted. Those had been sitting for 111 days, and they were a beautiful style, but it was just that damage, I think, that made their value go down a little bit. Sourpuss is a fun, retro, vintage-inspired brand. I've seen their pieces here in Toronto at Damsels, and they also sell their pieces on sites like ModCloth. This was a red and black, very retro, vintage-inspired dress. It had a rose print in the bottom, and it was in a size extra, extra large. I got an offer from the buyer for $40, and I accepted. And that took 29 days to sell. Next up was another pair of gloves. These were men's leather gloves from the brand Barbour. B-A-R-B-O-U-R. That brand. These came in my Quick Lots half palette and sold for $45 on an offer to Liker and took 86 days to sell. Back when stores opened up in Toronto again in July, I did some retail arbitrage, and this piece is one of the last pieces that I have left from that haul. It was a really beautiful Ted Baker red skater dress in a size 14, and it was just a really, really gorgeous color in a really classic silhouette, had an exposed zipper in the back, and I really loved this dress. The buyer and I went back and forth on price, and we landed at $50, and that took 128 days to sell. In the theme of pieces for cooler weather, this was an Anthropologie sweater from the brand Angel of the North. I think I've sold one other sweater from that brand before, but this was a really lovely open cardigan, very, very cozy. I got an offer from the buyer for $40 and I accepted, and that one took 9 days to sell. Next up was another pair of jeans, another pair of Citizens of Humanity jeans. They were the Leah style. They were a high-rise cropped style. They were in a size 31 and they sold for for $70 35 days after I'd listed them. This was another piece I shared in my haul with Karina. It was a really, really special piece. So Lululemon, obviously, lots of people know Lululemon, Canadian brand. They've had a couple of kind of like sister brands, and one of them was called OQOQO, not sure how they pronounce it, but it was supposed to be their more sustainable line using other fabrics and like organic cotton and that kind of thing. This was a coat from that brand. It was a beautiful light green, gray plaid trench. It was absolutely gorgeous and in really, really great condition. This sold for $150 just 3 days after I had listed it, and I was really happy with that sale. One of the things I've been seeing more and more on Poshmark is these Starbucks studded sippy cups. They're sippy cups for grown-ups. I had one for a while. I bought it in 2019 and I had it when I was still working in an office because I really liked it. I keep it at my desk, but I just wasn't using it anymore. And I know how popular these cups are, and sometimes they go well over retail, which is just wild to me, but people collect them and they really enjoy them. So I decided to list mine. It was a silver one from holiday 2019. It sold for $45 on an offer to liker the same day I listed it. It was sitting collecting dust in my cupboard, so I was really happy with that sale. In the theme of winter accessories, this Tory Burch scarf was absolutely beautiful. It was navy and cream with like the logo all over the scarf. Really, really lovely. It sold for $80 on an offer to liker and took 22 days to sell, and another sale that I was really thrilled with. This was another bundle that caught me by surprise. The buyer came into my closet, liked a bunch of things, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna send you an offer. And they accepted right away, and I was like, well, that's great. I wish bundles always worked like that. The first item was a Michael Kors open cardigan that I had relisted at the beginning of the month. There was also a Stojo collapsible travel cup that I got in my Quick Lots half palette. The last item was a Zara floral mock neck sleeveless dress. Super random, right? Like not a bundle that you'd expect buyer to be like, yes, I'll take everything, but they did. So that was great. Sold for $55 on a bundle offer, and those items have been sitting in my closet between 20 and 104 days. Oh, now we're gonna talk about eBay. Oh my gosh, eBay, making eBay sales. Very, very happy with this. Anytime I make a sale on eBay, like I'm still kind of shocked, and then when they pay, I'm even more shocked and thrilled. It's excellent. This first item was a really beautiful corset from Northbound Leather, which is a brand here in Toronto. It was a black satin overbust corset, lacing up the back. I had listed it on Poshmark and it got a bit of attention, but I thought, what the heck, I'll list it on eBay as well. I got an offer for $120 the day after I had listed it on eBay, and I was really happy, and that went off to the US. The next item to sell on eBay was another dress from a consignment client. This is from the brand Svaha. I had never heard of the brand Svaha until I got a couple of their dresses from one of my consignment clients. All of their dresses, one, have pockets. They're comfortable, they're made from cotton, and they all have like a fun, geeky STEM, like science theme, and they're really, really fun pieces. This specific dress was olive green with a white print, and the white print was pie. It just had like pie all over it, not actual pie, like 3.14 and all the other decimal points. It was a fun math themed dress. That one sold for $30 on eBay and took 3 days to sell. My last eBay sale was something that I had listed for quite a while on eBay. I had listed it, I guess, back in the summer, but it was a piece that I had received in my Quick Lots half palette from the brand Dodow, D-O-D-O-W, and it was a device to help you fall asleep faster. It was in the box, fairly new. The only downside was it didn't have the instruction manual, but you could find that online. It was working. Anyway, I had listed it on eBay quite a while ago, but it finally sold, and that was great. It sold for $25. It took 60 days to sell, and honestly, any eBay sales get me really excited, but it was nice to have a bunch of them and see them continue into November, so my eBay efforts are paying off. Themes for this month: jackets, coats, warm weather gear, jeans. We're preparing for winter. I totally get that. I'm trying to get warm and cozy too. In November, I'm going to continue listing things on eBay. I'm going to get back to regular listing things on Poshmark and just keep on keeping on and doing my best to take care of myself along the way. I would love to hear what categories sold well for you in October. If there's any brands that you're excited about, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed, now would be an awesome time to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, friends!